All righty, we are live.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Miles. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, Miles wanted to say hi. Look.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
he wanted to look and see hi Miles in the chat.
Yeah. Oh, there will be lots of hi Miles. You wait. There's a little delay. Here we go. Yay! Hello, everyone.
Oh, there we go, kiddo. See? Hi, Miles. And then where's that writing from?
Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Wait, it's hi.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many people adding up.
So many people. I can't believe it. Thank you guys all so much for joining us this Friday night, whether you're catching us live or catching us on replay. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're so glad you guys are here. We're so excited to get crafty tonight and get ready on our holiday cards, which is, I can't even believe I'm saying that. I'm excited, but I'm also can't believe that it's already.
Well, I'm going to be already asleep by then.
You're going to be already asleep by then. I know.
I mean, I'm ready to get cracking on Christmas, so.
I bet you did. You'd be tired too.
Yeah, and then look, do you see all those kiddos?
Hi,
Miles, what places are they listing?
Mexico, New Mexico.
Yeah.
Australia, North Carolina.
Yeah, Miles loves world maps and learning all the countries. This is fun.
This is so fun.
Something.
Yeah, Raleigh. And then NC is North Carolina. Yeah. Well, hello, everybody. We're so thrilled that you're here. And we're so excited to get crafty. I know that, Jen, you wanted to chat about a couple.
Yeah.
I wanted to chat too.
I just thought as everybody was getting settled in that we would just chat a little bit about some fun things up and coming that maybe you haven't heard of yet. I'm going to flip the screen to a slide. So if you guys don't know, Miss Shari is in the chat as lawnfawn tonight. And I know Rebecca's behind the scenes too, helping us out. But Shari does live in North Carolina, just outside of Asheville. And obviously we all know how horrible Hurricane Helene was in many places in the United States. But we wanted to put together a fundraiser to raise money. And so we're going to be having an exclusive class on January 9th at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And many people have asked us, why is it so far in advance? That was the soonest that all three of us could get together, Kelly Marie, Shari, and I. And we wanted to just quickly put the class together, the details, so that we could raise money as quickly as possible, because obviously there's a lot of need in the area. So we wanted to let you guys know. I know Shari is posting the link to the class details in the chat. It's $15. You can sign up now or sign up after this live. And then when our new release comes out in December, which I know Kelly will chat a little bit about tonight, we'll have more details about the class, what supplies we're going to use, and all of the stuff that you're used to getting, especially if you've done an online class with me. And we know many of you guys have already signed up, and we thank you guys so much. Kelly might be able to correct me, but I believe you guys have made 1 or 2 donations so far, Kelly.
Yeah, I think it's been 1 or 2. I'm not sure. Definitely one. We did one right away, and we'll be doing another one again soon if it wasn't done this week already. So we're just going to keep donating as different class purchases come in. That way we can keep helping their efforts in Western North Carolina.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much. It's very heartwarming and we appreciate it. And we can't wait to get together with everybody on January 9th and create. And just remember, if you can't make it for that January 9th date, just like these Create With Us's, just like all of the online classes that I host, you can take the class whenever it works into your schedule. So there's absolutely no pressure. No matter where you are in the world, this is a way that you can participate and be part of a really good cause. And while we're on it, I wanted to also mention tonight we're going to be creating with Cheesy Christmas. And it just so happens that tomorrow, November 9th, is my Tis the Cheese On online class. I laugh every time I say that title. And so if you're going to be creating along with us tonight and you have some of the supplies, you have most of the supplies that we'll be using tomorrow as well. And so if you're kind of in a holiday card making kick and you want to kind of keep that momentum going, you can join me tomorrow. Or again, with online classes, you can take them whenever you would like. There'll be different coloring guides, different handout, and access to videos. And then I also just threw up on this graphic, Tweets the Season is the holiday card class that I taught last year, but I know not everybody gets to take all of the classes. So again, if you're kind of in that holiday making mood and you want to get those creative juices flowing, those classes will be super helpful for you. So I'm going to flip the camera back to Kelly and I and Miles. And I also just wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of what these Create With Us's are, because maybe you can let us know in the chat. Have you participated with us before? Are you creating tonight? Or are you just here for the chat? But what these are just free mini classes that we host here on the lawnfawn YouTube channel. We started doing these a couple years ago. We always release the information on the lawnfawn's release days. And Kelly's showing you there's a downloadable handout that I create, and you can get that in advance or you can go grab it now. The pinned link in the chat is a link to the Create With Us page on lawnfawn's website. And on that handout has my coloring guides. It has pictures of the cards that we're going to be creating tonight. And it also has, if you are going to create with us, it has a little bit of homework so you could prep ahead of time. I know many of you actually prep during this live because it's just fun to prep while we're chit-chatting and then you create later. No matter what, we just love that you guys are here with us. And if you are creating tonight, make sure you tag lawnfawn, tag me, Jen Shirkus, and use the hashtag LF Create With Us, so we can see what you've made. Because I know as a teacher, as the one that designed the class, I always love to see what you guys do. And it's totally okay if you're substituting products, if you're changing colors. You never need to, apologize for that or explain that. We just want you guys to have fun and create some fun cards. So yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Yep.
So I'm going to flip the screen. You'll be able to see Kelly and me, and then you're going to see my table. Just so you guys know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Oh, and Miles. And you'll be able to see Miles, who has a lollipop. I'm a little bit jealous about that. What flavor is that lollipop, Miles?
Lemon.
Ooh, really?
Lemon. Yum.
That is probably the last flavor that Auntie Jenny would want, but I am so glad that you're enjoying it.
Are you a red or purple lollipop person?
I mean, any color but yellow, really? Oh, I love it. So these are the coloring guides.
I love lemon too. I love green too.
You love lemon too?
I never had the purple one.
Ooh. These are the coloring guides that are in the handout that I am going to be following along while we're coloring. And these are the Copic markers that I am going to be using. I always like to swatch them out for you guys because I know that there are many different coloring mediums out there. So again, we just want you guys to use whatever it is that you have. And if you want to do a similar color palette, at least you have the swatches here to be able to kind of refer to. Yeah. Miles, have you made any cards with Cheesy Christmas yet?
Maybe one.
Maybe one.
Maybe two.
Yeah, when we were designing it, I think maybe you did those ones. And then we've been using, what's been your favorite stamp set lately? Is it All the Smiles?
Yep.
Yep. He's stamping smiles on planets that we print out, which you're actually going to go home and do that with Daddy now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
For sure. Bye-bye to everyone, and then I'll go give a big hug. We'll do big waves.
Bye, Miles. It was so good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
And I'll be right back too.
Yeah, no problem, Kelly. So we are going to start by coloring our little mice. I'm going to start with some gray markers. So I'm going to be using W4 and W2, fairly light colors. Whenever I'm kind of like getting into the mood of coloring or, switching gears, I like to kind of start with easy colors to blend. And then we'll kind of get to other colors as we move on. So we're going to start with our grays. And whenever I am coloring, I like to start with the darkest color first. And what I thought we would do is actually go right down the line and shadow all of our little mice right at the beginning. Then I can kind of go over blending with you, and then we can kind of chit chat as we blend out all of our mice. So I'm going to start with this little guy that's carrying the cheese, and he's facing to the right. So I am going to shadow the left side of his face. I'm going to go up his ears a little bit and a little bit on that back ear. And I try to keep an eye on my coloring guide so I don't switch things up too much on you guys. I'm going to go down the left side of his back and then a little bit between his legs and the left side on that right leg. And so we're going to shadow this other guy that's carrying the cheese the same exact way. I tend to pick a side to shadow on, and then so left or right, and then I shadow the crevices. So when you're shadowing something that has a face or a focal point to it, I will shadow the opposite side of that face or that focal point. So we got our little twisting and turning dancing mouse. His face is facing the right, so I am going to still shadow the left. And then because he's kind of grooving and moving, I'm going to now just focus on his crevices. So I'm going to do a little bit on the bottom of that left arm, a little bit in the crook of that right arm, under that right arm, between his legs, and a little bit on that back leg. All right, and then I'm going to shadow the next twisting and turning dancing mouse the same exact way. So we're just going through Kelly right now and shadowing all of our mice.
All of the mice. Okay, I am joining you now.
That way I can go over blending one of them, and then we can kind of chit chat and work at our own pace at blending the rest.
Got it.
So now we've got our little mouse with this snowflake sweater. I want this sweater in real life, please.
Right?
I absolutely love all the paper snowflakes. I just don't want real snowflakes.
And are you highlighting with W4?
I am shadowing with W4. Yep.
Yes.
And then we will blend with W2. So he's facing the left, so I'm shadowing the right side of his face, a little bit at the base of those hands. And then I'm going to kind of go down between his legs a little bit and along the right side of his little bum. And then I'll do the same exact thing for our other sweater mouse. That's one thing I like to just mention is like, once you figure out the way you want to color something, don't feel like you have to reinvent the wheel all the time. These mice are going to be on different cards, but it doesn't mean you have to color them differently, right? I think sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves that it's like, oh, this is a new card, so I have to do everything new. And that really isn't the case at all.
Yeah, I have like a way that I do my mice, and it's just always that way.
Yeah, pretty much. And I have like a couple different color schemes. Those of you guys that do a lot of my online classes, I have a couple different color schemes that I'll switch it up, but it's pretty much the same. Yeah.
And also, if you do something different, even with two mice that are on the same card, that's okay too, right? Like it doesn't
Totally.
Like you could have brown and gray mice, or there's no rules. It's just all fun.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is blend with W2. And once you start blending, if you're working with alcohol-based markers, you want to make sure that you stick with that one image. We don't want to move down the line and do a little bit of blending on all of the mice, because alcohol-based markers dry really quickly, because like when it's on paper, because the alcohol is evaporating. So the big thing to get them to blend is to saturate the paper. So I'm going to take this W2, and the first thing I'm going to do is just concentrate on blending that line left from our previous color, the darker gray, the W4. And I'm not coloring anywhere else on the mouse. I'm just blending that edge so I don't see a harsh line from the previous color. And this is pretty much what you'll do no matter what brand of alcohol-based markers you have, if you're working with alcohol-based markers. So then once it's blended, it'll look like this, where I have some white space left. And I'm going to stick with my W2, but I'm only going to do one layer of this color. When we were blending, we were building up our layers, and so it made our W2 darker than its true version, because with alcohol-based markers, when you build up your layers, you get darker versions of that color. And so when we fill in the rest of the mouse, we want to stick to one layer so it stays nice and bright and highlighted. And that's kind of my easy approach to coloring. This is how I've been coloring with alcohol-based markers for, oh gosh, almost 2 decades now. But I like it. It's not super stressful, and even over the years I've been coloring, I've seen an improvement in my coloring just by practicing. And yeah, I think it's fun. So we're just going to work our way down the line and get all of our mice colored. But I don't know if we're missing any questions, Kelly, if you want to read any.
They were talking about the I can never say that right. Ohuhu markers in the Maui style, and it looks like those are water based. But I think you can do some blending with them, and you could also use. You may be able to blend them okay together, and you could also blend with a little water brush or a little brush with a little bit of water, and that could help you blend them as well. So like you could do a swipe of one of those and then take just a little water and then just use that as your blend. So you could do your highlights just how Jen shows them in the coloring guide. But when you got to the W2 part, you would just take the water on your brush and just blend it out, which would be a really pretty look with the watercolor.
Very pretty.
Sometimes with those types of markers, they're a really high quality water-based marker. You can do some blending between them because the ink itself is wet. So you could try that as well.
Yep. And then if you're working with any wet medium, if it's not blending well, it might also just be the cardstock you're working with. If you're only using a little bit of water, you might get away with like the lawnfawn white cardstock that I'm using tonight. But if you're using a lot of water, I would recommend a watercolor cardstock. Like I know lawnfawn stocks the distress watercolor cardstock, which is my favorite. So
you may be able to get away with the white cardstock if it's just a little bit of water, just
a little bit. Yeah, I haven't used those types of markers that they were mentioning, so I'm not 100% sure.
I haven't used them either, but I have a feeling that they're somewhat like these.
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah, like the zig markers. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Well, can we believe it's November, you guys? And
no,
I mean, when Halloween got here, I was like, where'd September go? I was still like wondering where that month went. And now October's done and we're into November.
I know I haven't quite figured out yet if it's just that as you get older, time just flies by faster, or if there is something that's sort of making us collectively feel like time is going by really quick, because it really does feel so fast lately.
I know.
Like up, isn't it?
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Well, if you are just starting your holiday cards, no fear. You've still got time. If you've been working on your holiday cards all year with me, I do a Get Crackin' on Christmas series, then you're in good shape. I did not get to send a lot of holiday cards last year because we were house hunting and packing and moving. And so I have an overabundance of holiday cards this year to send, which I'm really excited to do because I really enjoy sending out holiday cards to everybody.
Someone is asking, what is distressed watercolor paper? So really any kind of watercolor paper that you may have works great. So like you can go to your local craft store and they will often have like, let's see if I can find like these sort of big pads of watercolor paper. So you could get something like this, or the distressed watercolor paper comes in like a little pack and they're card size, like card fronts. So if you just wanted to get like a little pack because you just use it sometimes, you could do that, or you can go to like your local craft store and get that. Shari has linked the distressed watercolor cardstock there. So both of these would work, and you can stamp on it and watercolor die cut them. And the jet black ink that we stamped in is also waterproof. So you can do different watercolor techniques with them too. Then I know some people were saying that often Copics can be expensive, and I totally get that. And so that's one of the reasons why we came up with coloring stencils. And so I don't know if you guys have seen them or not yet. So let me know if you have some questions, please, in the comments. But we now have coloring stencils as well for our stamp sets. So anytime we come out with a new stamp set going forward, it'll have a coloring stencil. And we're also coming out with coloring stencils for older favorites. And so you can see here that you can easily color in with inks that you already have in your stash, and your brushes, you just brush right over the openings, right over your stamped image, and it colors it in. So that's a great way to add color as well.
So I have two things I just wanted to quickly say. Let us know. So we're starting to plan our next Create With Us is for 2025. So let us know in the chat if you would like us to use the coloring stencils in a future Create With Us instead of coloring with alcohol-based markers. Let us know. We've used distressed watercolor pencils before in these. We've done a lot of fun things. So let me know that in the chat. I would love to see.
Yeah, we could even do a like a little poll or something. Maybe Shari can put that up.
Yeah, maybe Shari could throw up a poll because I would love to use it. Yeah.
I think it'd be really fun. So yeah, it'd be fun to see, or maybe we do like one card's Copics and one card is coloring stencils or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have like a nice mixture. And I don't think someone said, I don't think there's a huge difference between the watercolor paper. Of course, there's different qualities of watercolor paper, but I think really, and for what we're doing for watercolor papers or watercoloring here, it's pretty basic. I think really any kind of watercolor paper is good. You're going to love it.
I actually just answered this question on Facebook this week, and I'll just explain. Like, I think when we are trying to learn a new technique, or which could be coloring or watercoloring, if you're following somebody's guidance and you're using different supplies than them, you might not get the same outcome, which is totally okay. But if you're learning, that could maybe be a bit frustrating in figuring out why you're not getting the same outcome. And so somebody else was asking on Facebook, like, what the difference is on watercolor cardstock. And so my thought process, and the reason why I personally just tend to use distressed watercolor cardstock, is I find it easy to find, to purchase it. I don't think it's really that expensive on the scale of watercolor cardstock. I love that it's a bright white, that there's a smooth side and a textured side. But the other thing that I like is the more I use it, the more I get to know how it's going to work. And so whenever I might use like a different watercolor cardstock, I'm kind of thrown for a loop because I'm like, wait, this isn't what I'm used to. This isn't how it normally works. So it's just kind of a consistency thing, like just sticking with
that's certain good advice is like pick one and stick with that one so you get used to.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be like the distressed watercolor cardstock, but whatever watercolor cardstock you're going to work with, just stick with that one, because as you're learning, you're going to start to like change how you're doing things pertaining to that cardstock. And then I just find it, I just know, like, it's almost like a cozy outfit. Like, I'm like, ooh, I know exactly how this cardstock's gonna work. I know that sounds silly, but yeah.
No, it is as you get used to it. And sometimes there are times, like, for example, Copic markers, having a cardstock that works well with it can matter. Meaning if you use like a very inexpensive cardstock or a computer paper or something, that won't work as well. But I think within different papers, you're going to find what you like. Everyone has their favorites. And so use what you've got in your stash already if you have something. And if you want to try something new, maybe you try the distress papers.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to say before we put our grays away, I just used my darker gray, the W4, and I'm just going to color the speaker on our cute little radio here. I'm not doing any blending or anything. I'm just coloring them gray. That little circle part, little speaker.
And so I wanted to mention, someone was saying that life got busy and she missed out on the pre-orders this week. So this week we released something. This is Erica, the other Lawn Fawn owner's like pet project, is creating these kids card making kits. We wanted to make a holiday gift. Say you're buying for like a niece, a nephew, a friend's kid, a grandkid, I mean, even your own kid. We just thought it'd be fun to be able to give them a little kit that would have a block, an ink pad, stamp sets, some paper ready to go, and some ideas in there as well, and some washi tape. And so we created these kids card making kits, and hopefully Shari can link the intro video to those so you can check them out. And the pre-order actually goes all the way until November 20th for those. And so we're doing a pre-order so that we're able to pack the kits and get them to you in time for the holidays. So if you check that out, we'll link it in the chat. They're really, really fun and super cute, and they have 3 brand new stamp sets in them as well. And I'll grab a kit in just a little bit so I can show you guys.
So nobody missed the pre-order because it's still going on.
No, it's still going on. Yeah,
perfect.
It's still going on.
Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead. We are going to go to our red coloring, which if you know me, if we're doing red, it's going to be a pinky red. So I'm going to be using R35 and R32. And I am going to start, I'm looking at my handout, my coloring guides. I'm going to start on the little Christmas tree gift bag because I think that's super cute.
And while you're starting that, I'll show you, this is the kids kit here. So here, this is we have a single kit, and then we have this combo kit, which has all 3 stamp sets in it.
Oh my gosh.
And so it's super cute. So you open it up, and inside
Christmas gifts done, you guys.
Oh, I know, right?
So
I always like buying craft kits because it's nice. The other thing too is, as a parent, like a craft kit that all fits in a box that I can put on a shelf is so nice.
By the way, that's also really easy to wrap too.
Yes. Mike literally said that because Mike only likes to wrap rectangular things. So
yes,
he
same.
That as well. And so you have, and each kit has a different block, or the mega kit has all 3 blocks. So you get a different size block in each one, which is nice, and a different washi tape in each one. And of course, a jet black ink pad. And in the video, we show you how it works with Crayola markers, crayons, colored pencils, like even like the inexpensive watercolor kits that kids like to use. It works with those. It works with anything. Comes with a cute little sticker, a little this one's axolotl themed. And then it also has cardstock and envelopes as well for the kids to decorate. So it's just a fun little gift. It's a fun little box of happiness.
Kelly,
and so you can get your holiday shopping done.
a couple people are mentioning that they're out of stock, but it's a pre-order, so there's unlimited stock right now, right?
Yeah,
I'm looking at them right now, and they should be in stock. I just looked at Shopify.
Let me just check if there's a problem.
Yeah,
see, that would be a bummer if there was a problem with them. Let me see.
It was in my
cart.
Gosh,
oh my gosh, they ran an integrator today. Okay, we are gonna go in and fix that.
Okay, so those of you guys that thought it was out of stock,
you guys are.
I am so grateful.
So grateful to you guys. So you start talking about coloring. I'm going to go on mute because Rebecca and I are going to fix this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
1 second. Oh my gosh.
Give Kelly and Rebecca a couple minutes, and they'll come back on. We'll hear them again and let us know when they're available. So thank you guys for mentioning that. So I'm going to start to color the little gift bag, and I'm using my darker of the 2 colors, and I'm going to start with R35, and I'm just going to kind of trace this line between the front of the bag and the side seam. And then I'm going to fill in the gift bag completely with that R35. Then I am going to take R32 and I'm just going to kind of dab right over where I went on the R35 on that seam. And then I'm going to fill in the rest of that bag with one layer. We're going to leave that little Christmas tree white because if you know me, we are most certainly going to be glittering all of the things later. I can promise you that. Okay, so now we have our little round present up here. And what I did is I'm back at my dark red, my R35, and I'm just doing a thin line, kind of tracing around the bow, basically just so we have like a little shadow where that bow is sitting on the present. And then I'm going to go back to R32 and blend those edges. And I do see there's a lot more questions about the kids' kits. I feel like I know some of those answers, but once Kelly is back on, we'll make sure that she answers those. And then that way I'm not saying the wrong thing. I saw Shari was doing really great at answering questions on Facebook today. So I feel like I know the answers, but I don't want the pressure of saying the wrong thing. All right. So now we are going to go and color our cheese puffs. I think this is so cute. I mean, what mouse wouldn't want a little cheese puff box under the holiday tree, right? All right, so for cheese puffs, what I'm going to do is I'm tracing this diagonal line with the R35, my red marker, on the inside of that label on both diagonals. And then what I did is for the whole box, I just am coloring this in completely with the red marker. We'll blend out that label in just a second, but I'm going to do the same exact thing on this other little cheese puff box. So fun. All right, and then I'm going to take my R32 and I'm going to blend those edges on the label. And then once I've kind of blended so there's no harsh line, I'll finish filling the label in with one layer. So for my Tis the Cheese On class tomorrow, like I said, we are going to make 3 more cards with Cheesy Christmas, but with a totally different color palette. So I think that's really fun too. And that's what's fun about these Create With Us classes and my online classes is we kind of try to help you so that you don't have to think about all the hard decisions, right? Color palettes, where to shadow, how to lay out the card. We just want to kind of make the card making stress-free for you. So here we are. We've got our little holiday hats on our dancing mice.
All right, I am back. So Jess and Rebecca are on it now. So it's going to be fixed really soon. But I heard out of the corner of my ear.
There's a couple questions. So
there's some questions.
Some questions I saw were, are the stamp sets going to be offered on their own? Are coordinating dies going to be offered? And Shari's doing amazing at answering in the chat, but I just thought saying them out loud would be helpful too.
Yeah, so we don't have plans exactly, but I am guessing that eventually we will release the stamps and we will make coordinating dies in the future. Right now, we were just thinking of people buying it for kids in their life that their family may not have a die cut machine, things like that. But we are hoping to do something like that in the future. And we love hearing that you guys would like to see them separate and coordinating dies for them, of course. So these will eventually make their way out into the world. But we think these little kids card making kits is such a fun way to get your kids crafting. And what I like about them too is that they're not holiday themed. So while they make a nice holiday gift, this is something that we're going to keep around so that if you've got a birthday or something that you need to buy for a kid in your life, that's perfect. I also saw somebody asking what age group they're for. So we said that it was ages 8 and up. That being said, you know the kid in your life, right? So my son, for example, I will help him stamp, and he's 4, but he loves to color. But he also has been growing up in a craft company his whole life, so he's used to all this crafting stuff. But obviously the stamps have small parts, so you'll definitely want to keep that in mind as you think of the kids. An 8-year-old would easily be able to do this all on their own, stamp and love it and have fun, but a younger kid could have fun with them too, especially with guidance. Like if you were buying it for your grandchild and you were going to help them and do it. So like Miles will pick out the faces for the axolotls he wants and then kind of help me push them down. But he kind of wants me to stamp it for him, and then he wants to color it. But sometimes he'll just stamp stuff everywhere and he kind of gets ink all over himself, and I'm okay with that. So you just have to also, what your ink tolerance level is too, depending on the age. So I hope that's helpful. 8 and up, they can definitely handle it on their own and do great. But if you wanted to give it to a little bit younger, just know adult supervision is recommended.
For sure.
Just so you don't end up with like a dinosaur stamped on your wall.
And some of the sets are inspired by other sets that we have too. So like you might have a lawn fawn set with a unicorn in it, so you can coordinate and work together with that kid in your life with their cute little set, so they can feel super special that they have their own set. And then you don't have to share your own set.
Exactly. I learned really quick that Miles now has his own stamp sets, and he has his own all the smiles, and he gets to write his name on Sharpie on them, and he loves it.
Yeah.
And so here, I'm so sorry again about them going out of stock. And I'm so glad you guys said something, because it's just it's an error in our system. It's something, we run something at the end of the day. So it must have just happened just an hour or two ago.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And someone was asking if these kids kits would be sold in European shops as well. We will be offering them to our stores in the future. Our manufacturers are really busy with all of our Christmas reorders, and crazy enough, our Valentine and spring orders. So once they're able to handle some more production, then we're definitely going to get it out to our amazing stores too. So they will be available at some point to them. And then, yes, I'm just looking at some of the things.
Yeah.
Oh, that their daughter is loving them. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that your kids are excited about them. I love the idea of kids getting creative and having fun. Miles could stamp and color and do this for hours, and he's 4. It's just like, it's so much creativity. And especially for little kids, like if you do stamp with the younger one, Miles just wants a big area to stamp on. I give him a big piece of cardstock and he just goes crazy, and he loves doing it like that. So that's another way to, you don't always have to make an actual, A2 size.
Right.
But I'm seeing a lot of people saying that they would like them to be released on their own, and we will definitely look into that for the future. So keep your eye out for that.
What I'm gathering from the chat is everybody just loves everything lawn fawn and just wants it all, which we so appreciate the love and support for sure. And the excitement. It's always fun. I'll just say, like, I'm sure Kelly feels the same way. Like, as they're coming up with products, they've been thinking about this for a while and coming up with the concept and coming up with the plan and designing and whatever. And this is how I feel about classes when I design classes and come up with the designs. It's so exciting when you guys are excited, because so much energy and work and long hours goes into it. So we just appreciate all the excitement.
Oh my gosh, yes, so much so. And I also appreciate your excitement for the idea of doing coloring stencils in the class. I know a lot of people are like, please don't stop the code books. We would do both. Don't worry.
Yeah, no worries.
And a little markers, but I think it would be fun to kind of try both. I'll say I'm a colorer. Like, that's my happy place. And I love doing the stencils too. Like, there really is. It's just like it's whatever mood you're in,
Yeah,
so I think it'd be fun to do that. And someone said, I bet Miles had a hand in the kits. He did. And he helped kind of, and Erica's daughters, who are 6 and 9, also helped us kind of see the different ages and how they interact with the kids. It really is such a blast.
Super fun. So I'm going to start coloring with my teals. Shocker. So I'm going to use BG13 and BG11. I'm going to start with the little snowflake sweater, the one that I want to own.
Yes.
And we're going to
I call him Yay Mouse, but also Pooh Bear Mouse because he's like,
oh yeah,
Pooh Bear with his sweater. It's so cute.
So we're going to shadow both of them first. I'm going to follow along that right side of the sweater because, again, he's facing the left. So I'm kind of following the same place I shadowed his actual body. I'm going to put a little bit in his left armpit here. And then I'm going to go along that bottom trim completely. And so I'll do that the same way on my second mouse. And then we're going to go ahead and just blend that out with BG11. And then once I have that blended, I will just finish filling it in with one layer.
I got to say that I wish I had cheese puffs.
Oh, I already talked about that. I was like, who doesn't want cheese puffs under their,
like those
their
really
cheese tree?
My grandfather always had those with the peanut man on the front, and they came in like that plastic
planters.
Yes, planters. That is what I want. That's what I think of.
So when my group of friends and we rent the house in Provincetown every summer, Kelly, I don't know if it's the boys, but the boys and the girls are in cahoots. Like, well, I should say the boys and Lindsay are in cahoots. And somehow like that massive container of the cheese puffs from like Costco end up at our rental. Like, and we're all just like munching on them the whole week.
So good. Oh my gosh.
So good. So bad for you, but so good.
I know. I just got like my COVID and flu shot, like legitimately 10 minutes before we started because my appointment was, I waited for like an hour. And you know, the idea of sunken cost fallacy where like someone's been at a slot machine and you want to keep staying at it because you think you might win because you've been putting so much into it. I feel like that with these shots I've been entertaining a 4-year-old here and finally got there and I got a 10% off coupon and I want to just go right back to the grocery store and go
get the cheese puffs. Yeah.
Right. That's what we were told. They're the best kind. And then Rebecca says we're back in business. So please make sure and see that the kids kits are back in stock. And then we also have another very good question because with the mention of the Valentine release, is there any hint? So our Valentine release is on December 12th this year. It's a crazy year because Black Friday is the 29th. It's later. So our release is on the 12th and we're so excited about it. And yes, there is a brand new critter, and it's a kind of critter that you can't believe it's brand new for us. So that's it. I can't wait to see it.
So if you didn't hear Kelly, the kid kits are back in stock. It's a pre-order, so that's why I was like, I don't think they're gonna go out of stock. That's the beauty of a pre-order. So and the pre-order I believe is open till November 20th, Kelly, is that right?
Yes, till the 20th.
Okay. So for the bows on the little cheese present, what I'm actually doing is I'm actually coloring it all light first. So I took that BG11 and colored the whole bow. And then I'm going to take the darker teal and I'm just kind of dabbing the little points in that bow. And then I'm doing just a little line on either side of the bow and on the seam, like where it goes to wrap around. So it's kind of like my little cheat shading. When something's so small, I'll do the light first and then do the dark. And if you want, you can then just go back to your BG11 and just kind of dab that a little bit, just to soften the edge. But this is kind of my little, this is such a small area. That's how I'm rolling on this Friday night.
I like the stingray guess because while it's not a stingray, I kind of wish it was because I'm
asking for stingray right now for summer.
Yeah.
Get on it.
Yeah.
How do we not have a stingray?
I don't know, but we need one. So cute.
Shuffle in the ocean.
I will always want all the ocean critters.
I know, right? Oh, stingray would be so cute. But yes, our Valentine critter, someone's saying, is one of their favorites, and mine is too. Like they'll always have a Valentine's leaning, maybe they'll have a Valentine sentiment, but they're always critters that work for year round as well. And so
I like to call it the Valentine friendship release. That's how I always word it, because
I like that.
I mean, I'm not judging if you have 35 Valentines. There's no judgment in Lawn Fawn world. However, I think it's nice to send Valentine themed cards to our friends. So who you might not be romantically.
Yeah, they're like Valentines. Actually, and I'll give this hint. We do have a new Henry's coming out, and it has Galentines in it. So
yeah,
that's pretty fun. So you can do Valentines, or also they're just good for like sending hugs kind of cards too.
Yeah.
Where you just want to tell someone you're thinking of them. You know, they're really cute for that as well.
I personally think they're adorable. So I mean,
yeah,
it's always adorable. All right, so I'm taking that dark teal, the BG13, and I kind of did the outside of the radio, the handle of the radio, and the little dot at the end of the antenna. And then I'm going to just scoop a little bit on the left side of the front panel. I'm not going to lie, Kelly, when I was coloring this, because I did some in-person classes this fall at Scrappy Chic in Michigan and Papercraft Clubhouse in Connecticut, we were chatting about how we might be getting to the point where some people might not know what a radio looks like.
My child.
Like your child. But even like, I don't know, like my Chris's sister's daughters, like our nieces, like they're freshmen in or sophomore in college and senior in high school. Like, do they know what a radio looks like? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Katie's a junior in high school and she knows what a radio is. So I mean, I think it's
I tell Miles all the time about how we didn't have like cell phones, and he just doesn't know how to process it.
I think the reason why the high school kids know what a radio looks like is because they make the Bluetooth speakers look like radios.
True.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they're like cute.
No, Katie knows what a radio is, but that's why, because the Bluetooth speakers look like radios.
Got it.
I still have an old boom box that I've never gotten rid of because I have some like old tapes of like different things that were like from my childhood. I have an old VHS and an old boombox.
I love it. Cheryl just guessed an idea for the Valentine critter. She said maybe it's ferrets because they're little thieves and they steal your heart. That's really cute.
That would be very cute.
Write that idea down.
Yep. And then Shari's added a possum on there. You know that Shari has even given Miles a possum stuffed animal. And it's super cute, but it scared Rebecca, who Miles calls Aunt Becky. He scared Aunt Becky with it.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It's cute, but it's a creepy little thing.
I'm grabbing my R32 marker again. I forgot I colored the little headband on the antler headband mouse. I just colored the band with the R32, and then I'm just coloring the antlers with a light brown. I'm using I used E25 on my coloring guide. Trying not to confuse you guys. It doesn't really matter. Just a brown if you want.
And I'm trying to catch up. I'm getting there.
You're doing fine. And then what we're going to do is I am going to grab my R20. And I'm going to go through and rosy cheeks, add pink to noses, add pink to inner ears, and add pink to bellies. I always wait until I know the alcohol has evaporated before I try to rosy the cheeks. That way, when I'm dabbing this pink onto the gray, the color will sit more on top than kind of soaking in. And you can dab as many times as you want, as bright as you want your pink to be. Just be really gentle with the tips of your markers. So I'm doing their noses. I add a little bit to the inner ear, and then I'm just doing a thin line on their belly. So cute.
So cute. Oh my gosh, someone has an 8-track in their car. That's amazing.
I love that. I do know record players are super trendy again. So
He has a record player, doesn't he?
Yeah, we have a record player. He actually built, so Mike, my husband, his craftiness is woodworking. And so he actually built like a whole cabinet that like fits the record player and has like a little like place where it leans, like where you can put all the records, and then it's got a cabinet underneath to like put more records, because his parents had this like huge collection of records that we've kind of gone through. And Miles really likes listening to the records.
I love that.
And Shari's saying that Miles has a whole Shari zoo at his house, and he does. And he actually just went to the aquarium with his grandparents, and he picked out an axolotl stuffed animal because of the kids' kits, because we've been stamping so many axolotls.
I love that. That's so fun.
Oh my gosh, everyone's suggestions are so cute. I love that no one has guessed though.
You haven't seen it yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
And yes, Shari, Miles does have a whole Shari zoo at his house. And they're all the most obscure animals. They're awesome. Because he loves to show that thing to me. And it's nightmares.
Oh yeah, what was it the other day? He gave you like an insect toy too.
Oh yeah, he gives me bugs. These little.
It's so cute. It's so sweet.
Bugs. It's very sweet that he gives them to me, but hugs and kisses work.
So I typically only use 2 markers to blend, especially with images that are small, like lawnfawn images. You really only need 2. But there's some instances where I will throw in a third color. And lately I've been throwing in this Y13, this really, really light yellow. And I've noticed that it really helps a highlight appear on a color that's already one big highlight. So I'm going to be using Y17, Y15, and Y13. And we can go ahead and start to color our little cheese trees. So I'm going to start with the Y17. And I'm going to just do a little bit of a shadow underneath this at the bottom of the star and on the right side. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of follow this diagonal line on either side with the Y17. And I'm going to go along the bottom. And then on the little stump, I did either side of that diagonal line and at the top. And then on your holes in the cheese, I'm just kind of doing like a left side half moon little trace. On the smaller circles, I'm just kind of filling those in. And we'll do the same exact thing on the other tree. And I wanted to mention, I know registration just opened up. Scrapbooking Cards Today is hosting a really fun event in March of next year in Markham in Canada, which is near Toronto. I'm going to really sound like an American right now. I just know I'm going to be flying into Toronto. But I will be there teaching an exclusive lawnfawn class. And like I said, registration is open and there'll be other really fun classes to take. I know Gina Kay is going to be there, Kim Kesty from Spellbinders. And so I think registration opened to non-alumni today or yesterday. But if you're interested, all the details are on the Scrapbooking Cards Today website. And then I also have a link to it on my classes page on shirkus.com. And Shari just linked to it in the chat because she's amazing. So thank you, Shari. But I'm really
these are
excited.
In-person classes, right, Jen?
Yes. In-person classes in March of 2025.
Which
So
sounds like the future, but it's really just a couple months away.
I know. And then also in March, I am hosting an event here on Cape Cod called Crop on the Cape. It's going to be our 26th year, which is
Oh my gosh.
crazy. I've only been part of it since 2003, but still, that's a long time too.
Yeah, it's your 21st anniversary then.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll be teaching an exclusive lawnfawn class at that event. It's called I Scream, You Scream, which I'm so excited. And lawnfawn's a sponsor. And you can sign up for Class Pass, where you could just take classes, or you can sign up for the weekend attendance, where you'll also have table space to kind of work on your own projects and then sign up for classes. It's a ton of fun. Registration opened up this week, and there are still spots in that. So the Scrapbooking Cards Today event is in Markham in Canada. And then Crop on the Cape is on Cape Cod in Massachusetts. And we have people travel from all over to attend. So definitely check those out for some fun in-person stuff.
Yeah, especially getting to go to Cape Cod.
I know, right? I love to get people to come to the Cape because you guys all know how much I love it here. So,
which is wild. I have never been to Cape Cod, and I have been to a lot of the United States, but somehow I've never been there, which is crazy.
We'll get you here eventually.
Well, Miles wants to go to every state, so we need to get to Massachusetts anyways.
Well, yeah, and I think Miles would really love Boston, and I know Uncle Matt and Aunt Shari want to come back. So,
yeah. Oh my gosh, he would love it. Yeah, his first trip, we're going to take him on his first airplane ride in a few weeks. So we're going to go to New Mexico.
Exciting. Where are you going?
New Mexico to see my brother. So
oh yay, that's so fun.
Just for 2 days, but it's gonna be super fun.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Send me pictures of him in the plane.
Oh my gosh, I know I guess it started snowing in Albuquerque.
Oh boy.
So I was like, I need to buy this kid some warmer clothes.
I was gonna say that's gonna be a shock to the system. So I'm just taking Y15 and I'm blending out from that line. The blend's going to happen pretty quickly because these are really light colors. And so once I get that line blended, I am extending that color a little bit, but you want to definitely leave some white space so that we'll be able to do our highlight. So yeah, while we're doing that, we can keep chatting.
It's the cheese of it all. The nice thing is you can't do wrong. It's going to look like cheese, either a Gouda or cheddar or
right. I think it's so fun. And sometimes when I'm coloring this, I'll color the star a color just to kind of break up the yellow. You know, it's whether I'm in the mood to have a cheese star or have a different star.
Somebody did eventually guess it.
There is, yes.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that. I wasn't gonna.
I was waiting for more. Now there's been more. There's been enough.
Yeah, I
wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if you saw. I was like, oh, there it is.
There it is.
Somebody finally said it.
So fun. I like to do this though because everybody gives us such great ideas for future sets.
I know, right? The anteater. Oh my gosh.
Anteater, and honestly, the ferret with that, like, you steal my heart. That's cute.
Oh my gosh. And I know we've already done space and planets, but now that's like Miles's obsession. So I want to do that again too.
Well, fun.
Yeah, planets. Has he played with that?
He has, but now I need to remind him about it again.
Because I was thinking about that when you were saying he wants spaces.
Well, because he keeps saying he wants the dwarf planets, but I think we just need to pretend that some of those are the dwarf planets.
Some little one.
Yeah, he's just he loves the dwarf planets.
Which very specific.
Awesome. Yeah, I just got him a book called 5 Little Dwarf Planets, and it's so cute because it has like the story of all the dwarf planets.
It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's got little planets. It's got little baby planets.
Yeah, we're gonna have to surprise him with that.
We gotta.
I wonder if it's just been a long time since he's seen it.
I was gonna say, and when you were saying he wanted to put faces, I'm like, we have planets.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna love it.
So now I'm just filling in the rest of my cheese tree with the Y13. I am brushing a little bit more on that edge just to make sure things blend. But again, because this is such a light color, things are going to blend really easily.
And we always have such small images. So this is,
I know.
It's kind of fun. It's a little different.
Yep.
Or if you didn't like coloring such a big image, this would be a good place to bring out the coloring stencils too.
For sure. Yeah. I was demoing those in my in-person classes this fall too, and people were loving them. It's just, it's not that you have to like never color again. It's just sometimes you just don't want to color, but you want to make a card, or sometimes you want to make a bunch of cards.
Yeah, mass producing is where I think they are so, like, if you're a big colorer, but you're not sure about mass, if you're like, oh, I'm using this card for either maybe thank you cards or holiday cards or whatever it is that you might be mass producing an invitation, that's where they're really great.
Yeah. I love it. Somebody says, whatever critter it is, it'll be cute. I agree.
Very true.
All right. So I'm going to work on the cheese that this mouse is holding. And so I'm using those same yellows. I'm going to start with the Y17. I'm just going to add a shadow next to his body. And then I'm just going to fill in the holes.
Okay, but it's a little chilly. You can turn on.
Okay.
Or we could even close, maybe we just close the door. We could, yeah.
And then I'm going to blend the edge with that Y15, kind of really extending the color, but leaving the tip of the cheese white to do the lightest yellow.
I really made a mistake not eating dinner before this.
I was going to say cheese.
Yeah. Cheese.
Oh, do you want cheese? Your husband loves cheese.
Oh, I'll eat cheese.
Like your husband?
Ooh, if there's spicy cheese.
There is spicy cheese in it.
Yes. I don't know if you guys have tried it. It's kind of like a string cheese almost, although it's not stringable, but although I'm one of those people that doesn't string their cheese. I hope that we should do a poll on that. I know that's
I just eat it. I don't string it.
Yeah, I can't be stringing it. I'm just gonna eat this cheese. It's like the square kind, but it's pepper jack. And if you haven't seen that yet, it is so good.
Marcy says that she's taking me and Shari's Happy Harvest class, and she's using the coloring stencils, and they're awesome. I love to see
fantastic.
that.
I love that. Oh, spicy cheese.
Okay, and then on our little cheese present here, what I did is I just kind of traced along the bow with the Y17.
You're working.
Filling in those dots. And then we're going to go ahead and just blend out with the Y15 and then just try to leave a little bit of white space to be able to just do a little bit of Y13.
All right, who else is eating cheese?
Not me. But I wouldn't be mad if I was.
Oh, somebody's got a cheese factory a mile away. Kelly and I would weigh 900 million pounds.
Oh my gosh, a fresh cheese factory. Oh my gosh. Or the cheese curds. Oh.
Yeah,
you guys in Wisconsin know what's up. I love a cheese curd.
I am not in Wisconsin, but we do have a local restaurant that does a really good cheese curd with a fig jam, and they're so good. Every time we go there, I'm like, yes.
I don't think we have any cheese curds here, or if we did, I don't know if I would trust a California cheese curd, you know? Yeah.
Michelle says she's a stringer. I was a stringer when I was a kid. Now I'm just like, just put it in my belly.
Yeah.
I'm if I'm sitting on the couch watching TV, I'm a stringer. When we're working, I'll put it in my belly.
Yeah.
It depends what I'm doing.
Yeah, I just think it's funny because people get like really upset once they find out that you're not a string cheeser, you know. Someone's got cheese pizza, that does count. Any kind of cheese tonight. We should have done that as part of the homework. Bring your cheese.
I know. I should have put that in the homework. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently take my images off of this low tack tape. I did see a couple comments on how people liked how I had it on tape to hold on to color. that is something I offer as a suggestion as part of the class prep. This is Spellbinder's Best Ever Craft Tape. It's a low-tack tape. It doesn't rip your images. And what I love about it is this piece of tape is not going to go to waste. I'm going to use it to hold my dies in place to do more lawn fawn cards. So I don't feel like it's wasteful, and I can use it over and over and over again. I get so many uses out of a piece of tape. So yeah.
Oof, my arm's starting to hurt. I gotta move it.
Oh yeah, that flu shot. Okay, so now we are going to do the best part of all. We're going to glitter all of the things. And it's even more exciting for me tonight because I get to open a brand new Quickie glue pen.
That's exciting.
It's very exciting. I do have this Quickie glue pen here that has a teeny bit of glue left in here, and I am going to use it. But for tonight's class, I was like, I'm not going to fight with it. I'm going to use a brand new Sakura Quickie glue pen. This is a good day, you guys. This is a good day.
I love that we have some people stringers. Someone's telling me I gotta pull the layers apart. Maybe one day.
Ooh, mac and cheese with real cheese is my favorite. Yum. All right, so I have some Lawn Fawn Prisma glitter in this glitter container. I love to teach people how to be able to glitter cleanly, because I know sometimes people are afraid to use an ultrafine glitter because they think it gets everywhere. So having a container that's at least this size, this is a sandwich food container. So it's like a slice of bread. It's about 5.5 by 5.5. And so I'll start with the cheese tree. And what I glittered on here is kind of like the highlight on the star and the highlight in the holes of the cheese. And you'll see the Quickie glue pen comes out blue, but it will dry clear. I just dip my image straight in and straight out. Never touch the glitter. Once it's on your skin, you won't be able to get rid of it for a long time. And there's going to be a little bit of static cling that you can see here. I just take my pen and I tap it on the cardstock, hard surface to hard surface, and it drops all that static cling away. And the best part is this is dry enough to flip over and put some foam squares on there and get it on your card. I like that there's no dry time, and I just like the detail that you can get with a Quickie glue pen.
It's so sparkly.
So tomorrow in my Tis the Cheese On class, we're actually using gold stickles. And I texted Shari. I put the stickles on and then did a couple other things. And then I flipped the tree over and it went everywhere. And I texted Shari. I'm like, this is why I don't use stickles. I was so mad. Because I'm so used to my Quickie glue pen being dry right away. I was so angry.
Well, Shari's calling you out. She's saying that you don't know how to use stickles properly.
I don't. Well, I'm out of practice. I do know. I tell everybody, do stickles last, put your whole card together. I was not listening to my tips. I'm out of practice. Out of practice. Yeah, stickle, then walk away.
Then just walk away.
Yeah. Nope, that did not happen.
Come back the next day.
Yeah, it's gotta be the last.
I know. Girls.
Or I do a lot of. I'll do that white. What is this? The Nouveau drops.
Yeah,
and that's another one. You gotta do it last. You gotta walk away.
Yep. On the little mouse that has the cheese, I'm gonna do his pom-pom and the trim on his hat. And then I am also just kind of dabbing a little bit on half of the holes, like a half circle. I don't know if that's showing up, but you can't go wrong. We were actually, Shari and I were texting with our friend, Miss Libby, and she was asking us, she showed us a card she was making, and she's like, what should I glitter? And I said, I'm like, I do say glitter all of the things, but glitter in moderation. You want to glitter every card you ever make, but you don't want to glitter everything on the card. We were coming up with all these slogans. It was funny.
Monique missed the gold stickles on her supply list, so she's going to be doing the glue pen and gold glitter, which is perfect.
Perfect. You'll have a better chance at not messing up your cards. So I'm all for that. All right, we have our little dancing mouse, and what I did is just the pom-pom and the trim of the hat. I literally can't make holiday cards without glittering.
I know, right? I think I'm going to end up doing some stickles because I always have my laptop right here, which is why I don't Prisma glitter in class, because I know if I get any glitter in the keyboard, it'll be in there forever. So that's why I sometimes I'll do it off to the side, or I channel my inner Shari and I stickle.
It's fine. It's fine. So now I'm doing the little snowflake on that adorable little sweater. I love it.
I know I need a new, I had a light up Christmas sweater and it broke last year.
Aww.
I know. So I need, and I tried to fix it, but I think because I had to clean it, and it says to dry clean it, but it didn't survive the dry cleaning. So I need to find another either sparkle or light up sweater for this year.
Somebody's asking, glitter just rub off.
Doesn't the glitter just rub off? Thinking with envelope and mailing.
No, it kind of like settles into the glue, and then
I think especially as it dries like overnight, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's like just a little bit. It's not a lot.
Oh my! Shari used a non-stardust color of stickles. I have my stardust one. All my color ones, Miles has dumped them all out, I think.
On the cheese?
He was younger. I think it was maybe about 3. He was really into the stickles.
Yeah, there's and when I say he was into stickles, he took the entire jar of stickles and would put it on one picture.
And it would be really cool because when you let it dry, it actually was this like mountain.
But it took like a week to dry.
But it does dry.
On the cheese puff present, I just did the bow, and then I just traced that shadow line we did on the label. And just so you guys know, on my handouts, I list out everything that I glittered. So that information is there for you. And then I also list out like everything I popped up with foam squares. I have taught so many in-person classes over the years. I know that you guys want to do exactly what the sample is. So I add all that to the handout for you. I love it. Erin said, I should have watched the clean glittering section before I glittered. I got glitter all over my office. Next time, Erin, next time. All right. On our little cheese present, what it looks like I did is the highlights on the bow and the little cheese holes. And I don't use tweezers generally, but if you're a tweezer person, you can use tweezers to dip your image into the glitter.
I'm also not a tweezer person, but I think Rebecca and Shari are tweezer people.
Yeah. If I accidentally drop it into the glitter, I'll get my tweezers out of the drawer and use it to fish it out. But I'm just faster.
When I heat emboss, sometimes that's when I bring out the tweezers, just so I don't burn my hand.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just kind of
someone else's daughter likes to do the stickle mountains too.
I'm filling in the white bow on the circular present.
Oh my gosh, I like that. If the cheeks are a little sparkly, I think it would be so cute to put the little sparkle on there.
That would be cute.
Yeah, I'm gonna add some white gel pen lines to mine.
I'm gonna do that in a minute. On the little Christmas tree on the gift bag, I'm filling that in. This is why we left a couple things white. And if you are just using the Quickie glue pen for the first time, it comes out blue, but it will dry clear. So don't worry about that. And it looks like I did not glitter the radio at all, but you can if you would like. And then I'm just going to grab my white gel pen, and I'm just going to add little dots in the center of their little rosy cheeks. Just simple. It's simple, but it looks so cute.
Yeah, there's something about the dot and the rosy cheek. That's exactly when she said that. Someone said the rosy cheeks. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I love to do that.
Oh, I forgot to rosy cheek my cheese mice. Can't let that
not as happy
happen.
as the other mice now.
Can't let that happen.
I tried to watch a cheesy Christmas movie the other night, but I couldn't watch it. I wasn't ready yet.
No.
I wasn't ready yet, but I think it's been so warm and stuff. I don't know. I wasn't ready yet. So I don't know if anyone else has already started with the cheesy Christmas movies yet or not.
Well, you admitted that you don't string your cheese. I'm going to admit I do not like to watch Christmas movies. I'm still watching my scary movies over here.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
It's a hot take.
I think Josie was here and Chris and I were talking. I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never seen the full A Christmas Story, and they both like gasped at me.
I gotta tell you, I think I've only seen it once. Like, yeah, maybe seen it once or seen parts. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to recall it, which I know is also, yeah. I always blame stuff like that on the fact that I didn't live in the US when I was young. So I missed out on some of the, like I missed out on certain TV shows and other things, you know?
Somebody said maybe a giraffe is coming, but I think we have a giraffe, don't we?
We do have a giraffe, and it's in one of my favorite sets, Wild for You and also Elfie Selfie. And those two sets are like in my top 10 lawn fawn sets.
I actually think you used that set to demo for my virtual crop on the Cape during the pandemic.
Yes, probably, because I love it so much.
Yeah. All right, I'm just putting my images back in my little tray here so I don't lose them. All right.
There's a lot of people saying that they don't like the cheesy Christmas movies either, so you're in good company. They're still on Spooky. And then someone's saying that these look like Santa Mouse, and they do. Shari gave Miles that book. That's so cute. These guys do look like the Santa Mouse book.
So cute. Yeah.
Shari's presents to Miles. I gotta up my Miles game.
In your defense, every present somebody's already given it to him.
I got it for him. I'm like, that's literally, he gets my love.
So we are going to do a little bit of stamping for this card here, which I never print out my handout. So I'm not sure if this is card 1 or card 2. Maybe Kelly, you could quickly look for me, the one with the peekaboo backdrop.
Card 2. Card 2.
So for card 2, we are going to take out whatever pattern paper you guys are using for your background, the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece. I'm using this piece from Candy Cane Lane, right?
Yes, yeah. Candy Cane Lane.
I get so confident, and then I feel like maybe I'm just making things up, and then I doubt myself. So,
somebody's asking where I grew up. I was born in Miami, but I moved 9 times by the time I was 13, and I lived in Spain and England and Canada before I was 8. So that's why I didn't really see like American TV until I was 8 years old. So I missed out on that early 80s loveliness.
I am going to take the peekaboo backdrop, and I'm just resting it over my background pattern paper, just so I'll know where to put my sentiments. And I am grabbing the Cheesy Christmas stamp set, and I'm going to take We Swiss You a Merry Christmas, and I'm going to put it up here in the upper right. And we'll move the peekaboo backdrop once we get our stamps in position. And then I'm going to stamp in a very mice New Year down here. Now, we are going to end up stamping some music notes and a little twist and a little dance. But I'm going to do all of that with an acrylic block because I think doing the tiny stamping like that, it's just easier to kind of get it where we want it. And I'm going to do it all once I get my card assembled. But these sentiments, I just kind of wanted to get in place. So I'm moving my peekaboo backdrop. I've got my stamps on my stamping platform. And I'm just going to go ahead and ink up with black ink. And we're going to go ahead and just stamp. All right. I forgot my stamp chamois like I always do. So I'm just going to set that aside and clean it later. That's how we roll.
Yeah, we do that all the time too.
Oh my gosh. All right. So now with the peekaboo backdrop, I want to pop this up. And the 3L foam strips are perfect for this. So I'm just going to take some foam strips and I'm going to add it to the whole backdrop frame. Foam strips are life, and I use them a ton, and a sheet of them lasts me quite a long time with how obsessed I am with them.
I know they really do come with a lot.
They really do, like, because I just use them so much, and I'm always like, oh my gosh, I'm still using the same sheet.
I always can't find my sheet, and then I start another sheet, and then I start all these half sheets.
I know. Oh my gosh, I have all these little pieces that are literally fitting perfectly without having to cut them. That was a good thing.
That.
When does that ever happen?
I know. Now I know you and I we both love our Misties, but we also are direct stamp.
Yes.
I wonder if most people are Misty people or if they're direct.
Well, that's why I wanted to just mention it first to people, like what I was going to do, because some of them you might want to have kept this in your Misty and done all that stamping, but I like to kind of just be able to maneuver my small stamps, and get them in, like tucked in against the mice, like, and stuff like that. So I just feel like it's just easier to do it with an acrylic block. Marcy says, Jen, how many horror movies did you watch? So I have to just preface it that I'm not really watching them completely because I'm working here in my studio. I'll glance up at something every now and again, but I'm not really like watching. I'm more listening. But I've watched a lot. This year I watched I think I might have shared, I don't know if I shared it on a Create With Us or a my class, but I watched all of the Nightmare on Elm Streets and Friday the 13th in order because there was some older ones I had never seen. But this fall I watched all the Omen and Poltergeist because some of those older ones I hadn't seen.
Those ones I love the old ones.
Yeah, I did
Halloween Horror Nights one year where like they go and scare you at Universal Studios.
Oh, yeah.
And they had Poltergeist, like they have these themed haunted houses to movies. They had Stranger Things, Poltergeist, things like that, because it's Universal Studios. And the Poltergeist house was really cool.
Well, and we went to there was a paranormal Cirque du Soleil that came here, which Cape Cod is kind of very small town where we don't typically get really fun things like that often. And so we were very excited. So the group of friends, we went. And when you walked in, there was like a teeny little scary haunted house walkthrough. It wasn't very big, but it was super fun. Well, all 6 of the fun friends put me in the front, which I'm like, I got this. Oh no. I was like, oh my God. It was so funny. All right. So I put my frame down. I trimmed any pattern paper that's hanging out. That often happens. Don't worry. And then what we're going to do now is just add our put our little scene together. Let's see if I do this. You guys can kind of see. So I like to use a mixture of foam squares and putting some images down flat. I'm going to start by putting my cheese tree right over kind of this seam, this line in the peekaboo backdrop. But I'm going to just put some foam on the points here just so they don't push in. So Kelly, I texted Shari last night and I posted on my Instagram stories today, but we had coyotes. We've had coyotes in our backyard a lot lately.
Oh, wow.
But we had them last night. I had the window open because we've been having really nice weather still. And right in our front yard, in our road, like 3 coyotes going to town howling at each other.
Wow.
It was so loud. And so Chris was like, I hope they don't come on tonight when you're live. I'm like, I know.
Oh my gosh, right?
Yeah, they were so loud.
Between that and the fire station next to lawnfawn.
I know, right?
You'd have a noisy live.
Oh my gosh.
The last Simon was actually right before we started, so that worked out. It was a loud one, yeah.
It's such an eerie sound.
Shari quoted you saying, "Oh no, so scary" at
Disneyland. Oh no, so scary. That's funny, Shari. She's teasing me because when we went on, what was the ride at Disney?
Oh, the Millennium Falcon one,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I was pregnant, so I couldn't go on any of them.
No.
We did that. No, we did the Tower of Terror.
No, it was when I got stuck in the front and I didn't know how to play.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was Millennium Falcon.
So it was the fall of 2019. I've never been to Disney World or Disneyland, and so I got to go to Disneyland with all the fawnies. And I haven't been on a theme park ride in a very, very long time. I used to go to Six Flags a lot, but I hadn't been in a long time. And so we get right into the park, and the very first thing we go to is the new Millennium Falcon ride. I do not know much about Star Wars at all. I don't even know what the Millennium Falcon is or anything. And somehow I'm now sitting in the driver's seat with Mike, and I don't know what to do. And I think Mike could make us go left, right, and I could make us go up, down. Oh, we got fireworks. And so long story short, we were hitting and crashing everything. And because it was so real, I was like, oh no, so scary. And Matt and Shari, Rebecca and Katie were just peeing their pants laughing at me and Mike is like, no, do this. And I'm like, I didn't know. And so we went on later in the day, and I think Rebecca was like, or no, Matt was like, do you mind if I drive this time? I'm like, no, please do. I had no idea what I was supposed to be doing, but it was fun.
Well, it was because it was your first trip. They're like, you're going to drive. You're going to be the engineer.
I know. Yeah, but you guys didn't give me the crash course on what I was supposed to be doing. All right. So now what I was mentioning is now that I have my tree in place, I like to kind of like the cheese puffs I'm going to put down with my glue tube, and the little gift bag I'm going to put down with my glue tube, but then I'm going to pop up the cheese present. I like to kind of like have those different levels. I really think it adds a lot of dimension to your cards. Don't fly with your glue tubes, guys, because then they don't like to play.
Oh. Yep.
They just don't. I never have a glue tube clog on me until it's the
pressure. Yeah, you've got to like let it needs to like reacclimate to like normal life.
Just not like I'm just constantly, this is gonna get popped.
So we have a fun like we were talking about cheesy Christmas movies.
Yeah.
And one of our lovely stores in Canada, Clipper Street in Langley, British Columbia, their store, they film a lot of movies up in British Columbia.
Yeah.
And their store was it actually wasn't a holiday one, but it was a Hallmark movie, and it had Jodie Sweetin in it, like from Full House. Yeah. And they walked through the store, but when they walk through for like 2 seconds, you can see her lawnfawn wall. So lawnfawn was in one of those silly fun movies.
I love.
And so that's our claim to fame. It was pretty exciting.
That was fun. I remember that. That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Or it feels like it was a long time ago.
I think it was a long time ago. I mean, it was.
Yeah, like I don't think Mouse was born yet.
No, it was pre-Miles.
Yeah.
It was pre-COVID, pre-Miles.
Yeah. But if those of you who don't know, my son is a COVID baby. He was born May 2020. So he was born in the wiping down the groceries phase of COVID. So we kind of like, it's sort of this, like, you can time everything with COVID and Miles.
I honestly, yeah, I feel like it's like pre-COVID and post-COVID. I just saw Francesca said, I missed the Markham class registration. I believe it's still open, Francesca. If for some reason it says it's sold out, I would still just email Scrapbooking Cards Today because they always do a wait list. So I don't think it was sold out yet, but maybe it is. But definitely email them so you can be on their wait list. All right, so I put this cheese tree over here on the right, flat with glue tube. And now I'm going to pop up the round present and the other cheese puff box. I would like to just give myself a gold star today because there's a lot of red on this card.
There is a lot of red.
I was shocked at how much red was on this card when I was prepping it.
I
was shocked.
This is almost...
For people who don't know, that Jen doesn't normally do red.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and this is almost traditional holiday colors. Almost.
Yeah, no, I almost texted you yesterday when I was prepping going, are you feeling okay?
I know, right? I figure, I know people really like traditional colors, so I try every once in a while to conform to make everybody happy.
Someone and her daughter refused to be the pilots, and they switched to the people behind them on that ride, Jen, just to make you feel better.
Thank you. I wish I knew. Like, nobody told me, but everybody got a good laugh out of it. Oh no, so scary.
Especially if you haven't like been on many theme park rides,
I also think I might have said a naughty word when we crashed the first time, and then I looked at Rebecca and apologized because her daughter Katie was on with us. I'm like, so sorry.
Yeah, but
then Rebecca's
and then Rebecca was like, it's okay, she's heard it before, and I was like, okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's my child. It's not.
Yeah, those of you that don't know, Rebecca does have a colorful vocabulary. So,
well, she did live in New York for a long time. So, thank you, Shari. I just looked up and I saw that she did all caps. I'm so proud of you, Jen. For those who don't know, red is Shari's favorite color. So we have this discussion a lot. Okay. So now that I have my little scene built, what I want to do now is stamp some of these music notes. And then I love when lawnfawn includes these cute little words like twist and dance. And those are the ones that I just think it's easier to do with a small block than trying to do that with your stamping platform. So I love this 1.75 block from lawnfawn. Like, I literally love it so much. And
I got mine.
And what I like to do is, and honestly, sometimes I'll pull out a second block. This is a 2.5-inch one. And what I do is I'll put something on both sides. So I'm putting all 3 music notes on a block. So I've got 2 of them on this small block and 1 of them on this block. And that way I can kind of just like go to town and I don't have to worry about peeling it off and changing it. And so I'm just going to ink up a music note and stamp it. And then I turn my block over because I've got different music notes on the other side. Ink up my stamp, stamp it. Right?
I love all the little phrases. That's like Erica, the other lawnfawn owner and the artist. It's her specialty is like those little phrases to me are just
I think they're so fun. They just add so much. And I just remembered in the Cheesy Christmas add-on, there's one more little music note.
Yeah,
let's just go to town here. So I just think it's so cute. And you can put your music notes wherever you want. But I think it's just really fast if, again, you just have a couple acrylic blocks going.
It's a fun way to make, like Shari does this a lot in her cards, where you can make like a tone on tone background.
Oh
You
yeah.
can put like a bunch of music notes on one block and just stamp them all around. That
Yep.
always looks so cute.
Shari's really good doing those
Yeah, those tone on tone backgrounds are so fun. It's such a fun way to use like the little elements. Even the little words look really cute on those tone on tone backgrounds.
That's a great idea. And so now what I'm going to do is take out some of those little words. So I'm going to use dance and twist. But remember, there's fa la 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 la. May your days brie merry.
That's my favorite.
Gouda tidings to you.
That is
Tis the
literally my
season
favorite.
to be cheesy. I love them. They're so fun. And then on the add-on, we've got oh what joy. We got floss. So if you're real trendy, you can be flossing. Have a nice Christmas. I love these. They're so fun. And so I'm going to add a little twist with this guy over here.
And then we have a really good question from Heather. Even though it's not happening on this card, do you have any tips on mixing pattern papers? And I think that is such a good question. And so one of my tips is to just start with the 6x6 pad. So for example, I'm going to grab the Candy Cane Lane here. If you start within a 6x6 pad, usually any which way you mix them, it's going to look nice, because we try to make it so that you could mix and match any. So you could put the rainbow with the purple, you could do this with that, you could do the stripes together. We try to do it that way. Another thing that you can think of is actually what Jen's holding up right now is if you're going to have a stripe, mix it with a dot. Now, I know that tree isn't exactly a polka dot, but it's kind of like a polka dot or a ditzy dot, which is like a random dot. And so if I have a random one or a polka dot, I want to mix it with lines. So kind of like dots with lines, dot with lines, or plaids with dots, for example. And then that's going to really help you be able to mix your papers. So for example, if I wanted to mix these I don't know, these blueberries with this rainbow paper here, that would be a good mix because I have dots and lines, and so they'll look cute together. Versus sometimes if you put two things that are like dots together, it'll start to look a little chaotic, although it can look cute. So I don't want to say
there's never any wrong answer, but there's always good tips.
That's how I think. Yeah, so if I see lines, I'm looking for dots, right? And a dot can be anything. It could be a pear, it could be a Christmas tree, a bow, a loopy, and that's what I try to do to mix. I don't know if you have any ideas with that, Jen, but I always think if I got a line, right, whether it's a stripe, a diagonal, plaid, I'm looking for a dot, which is any kind of little,
I think that's a great tip. And I do think sticking to like a paper pad or a paper line, the company's kind of already figured it out for you. So just let them do the hard work. The other thing I like to do, and we've done it before in these classes and in my online classes, is to tone the second pattern down with vellum. So if you have like cut a stitched rectangle out of vellum and overlay that over the pattern or the second pattern, it kind of tones it down a little bit so it doesn't seem so overbearing with the other pattern. So that's another tip for you.
That's a whole nother way to get use out of your pattern paper. The other thing also, at least in lawnfawn land, we always try to think about how you can use your supplies year round or extend your supplies. So while these stripes are lovely for the holidays, they're just a pretty color. It's just a pretty purple stripe. Like how beautiful would that be on a Mother's Day card, right? So like a lot of these papers may say Candy Cane Lane or Christmas or whatever holiday it might be. Some of the papers are just kind of Christmassy, like the actual candy cane paper, but we always put papers in that you can use year round. So same thing for this fruit salad paper. I actually made a really cute Christmas card using that green plaid. This is supposed to be a summery paper, but we were able to use the plaid and extend it going. So that I just wanted to kind of give that tip too, is don't get worried when you see the theme, because a lot of times, especially at lawnfawn, we always add in papers that are going to last you longer past whatever holiday or season you might be creating for.
I'm going to ask Shari to post another poll for us. And I'm being a little sneaky right now. Kelly, will you hold up the candy cane paper from that Candy Cane Lane. It is, you guys, if you have not seen this paper yet, it's rainbow with gold foil. And so we're going to do a poll right now. Should Lawn Fawn make this a permanent paper? Because I've had everybody that took my in-person classes emailing info@lawnfawn.com. I texted Jess and warned her. It is such a pretty paper, you guys. And again, it doesn't show up well on camera, but there's a really subtle gold diagonal lines on it. It's so pretty. So I would really love Shari. Should the candy cane paper be permanent? And everybody please say yes, even if you don't think so.
I'm trying to get the gold. There's the gold foil.
Yeah, there's the gold. It's so pretty.
I love it.
All I have to say is it is Shari's responsibility to do polls, because the one and only time I had to do a poll, it was a disaster.
He's probably trying to think about how to word it correctly. Like I can kind of. Oh, there it is. Heck yes.
No, Jen is crazy.
Jen is crazy.
That is crazy. No,
1% is just Rebecca.
I love the paper so much. All I'm thinking about is where am I going to put all this paper?
I know we keep bringing papers back.
I know, but I just think
I'll give you a little tip of how paper works. You buy a big parent sheet, and 6 12x12 papers fit on a parent sheet. And so often we're reordering papers that we always have, like Spiffy Speckles or Watercolor Wishes. And sometimes we'll have an open spot, and then we'll just bring back an old favorite when we do that. We brought back some of the rainbow plaids. We brought back a really great black and white stripe that was really vintage Lawn Fawn. We've brought back a ton of different papers. So always check out the 12x12 paper section on lawnfawn.com, because we bring back random old favorites all the time too.
What'll happen sometimes is we'll be designing a card for a new release and be like, oh, that paper we had would have been perfect on this. And then
that's like it's like Baby Skunk line dance.
Yeah, that's literally miraculously Dave will walk in within a day or two and be like, hey, I need to add a paper to this paper. It's like, we know what we
want, right?
All right, so I'm starting the next card, and we're using the I forgot the name of this frame.
The Winter Wonderland window.
Thank you. And I'm fighting with my worldly glue tube here. And so I'm just adding glue tube to the front pattern paper. And I'm going to put this onto the red cardstock. I like to use glue tube because I can kind of wiggle it around a little bit to get it in place. And then once I have this attached together, which I can hear Kelly using her dot runner, which is totally what I should have done. But
I know I can't find my
learn from my mistakes. But the glue tube was fine.
It's just, either, so
and now I'm going to use foam squares to pop up this whole panel onto our back pattern. And just remember, you guys, this goes for any of the supplies that we're using tonight. We really want you to shop your stash, and this really goes for pattern papers. I mean, I love every pattern paper release from Lawn Fawn, but if you didn't get it this time around, totally shop your stash and use whatever you guys have. Maybe you're doing a whole different color scheme. That's totally okay. We just want you to have fun and create with us.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That was good. That was good.
I like that. That was like a product placement. Yeah.
Stuff like that. All right. Heck yes. Rainbow Forever is 98%. And no, Jen is crazy. Just kidding. Is 2%. I'm guessing that 2% is Rebecca and Shari.
I think it's just Rebecca.
Yeah. Rebecca and Shari's votes probably.
No, I agree. I it's just funny because it has the candy cane on the back, but I think that's all right.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I had to go against Jen. That's really all that is.
It's just such a pretty paper. I mean, I am using it even in my March class for Crop on the Cape because I was like, I love for I Scream, You Scream. So when I'm trying to line something up, I didn't really mention this when we did the backdrop because we were chatting about something else. But when I'm trying to line something up that are two things of the same size, I always line up this bottom lower corner. And once I get that in place, I kind of let the paper fall up and then fall down. Don't fight the paper. The paper knows what shape it is. It's not going to change for you. And then if you have any like paper from the background that's off a little bit, just trim it. It's going to be fine once you get it on the card panel. Nobody's going to know but us.
I never get it. I never get it right.
No. And you got to remember.
I'm saying I give it to Rebecca because.
Well, and if you're using a backdrop die, the backdrop die is going to be super precise. And what you're cutting with your paper trimmer isn't going to be as precise. I would love to just point out that Shari just closed the poll and the 2% dropped to 1%. So 98% of the 60 people that voted think that we should have that paper. Just saying. Okay, so once we have this in, we are going to start to build our scene. And again, I like to kind of tuck some things, have it flat, and have some things popped up. So I'm going to start by putting my cheese tree on flat.
Oh, someone's saying that they love the wide stripe and really rainbow. Same. And that is a forever paper.
That is a forever paper. And that's why I think we need more rainbow papers in the forever papers.
Yes. I'm telling you, you got to keep checking out. Always check out that 12 by 12 section. Maybe Shari can even link to it because we're always adding random stuff on there.
Then I'm going to add the little reindeer mouse with foam squares to the right of our cheese tree. And I'm kind of tucking them behind the little snowflake frame. I love this. Did you say what the name of this was, Kelly? I forget the name.
The Winter Wonderland window.
Thank you. Winter Wonderland window. Then the little guy carrying the cheese with foam squares.
Excuse me.
Oh, you're cold?
I'm freezing. My hands,
it's not cold in here.
I'm freezing. I don't know what's wrong with me today.
You know, I think that Rebecca and I, instead of going into hot flashes, something is wrong with us, and we have cold flashes. Like I don't know.
I'm literally freezing.
And I'm warm, but I also just got the shot too.
It's 73 in here. No, it's 73 in here. It's an acceptable temperature. I'm just cold.
Check your thyroid. Maybe you have bad circulation.
I do have bad. Yeah.
All right, and now I'm adding the little snowflake mouse with foam squares. And then I'm adding the little radio down here with foam squares. The little twist and turning mouse with foam squares. And all the foam. And then I had you guys pre-stamp your sentiment, and I had you stamp it towards the left of the sentiment banner because we're going to kind of have it hang over and trim the extra off. So I'm going to put some foam behind "'Tis the." And then I'm going to add a little dot runner behind the rest of the banner. Oh, I did the wrong way. I knew I should have double checked it. Real life crafting.
I say the little twist and shout mouse is just my favorite.
He's so cute.
It says, question, do we pop up the arch and stripe paper on the green background paper? Yeah, so we layered the stripe paper flat onto the arch, and then the whole arch is popped up on the green paper so that it has that fun
window look.
Window feel. So like you're looking through the frosted window in on this cute little scene.
And so I'm putting my sentiment banner so that the word "on" kind of ends right at that right side of the card. And then I'm just going to flip this over and trim it. Oh, that was a little close. That was a little close, Jen Shirkus, but it's okay. It's
living life on the edge.
Yep, I'm going rogue a little bit. All right, and then I have some music notes pre-stamped and die cut, which is what's fun. You know, we could just stamp them on their own or pre-stamp them and die cut them. And so I'm going to just sprinkle them on my card here. And I like to just kind of treat them almost like sequins, where I'm going to add a little dot of glue tube. And then I'm going to use my gem picker upper and place them into the glue. And I'm just copying where I placed them last time. There's no need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, right.
Right? I already agonized over the placement for us when I designed the card.
Right. I'll do a whole card, and where I get stuck is like, well, where do I put this one clear sequin? You know,
I know, right? Right. So I'm like, we don't need to do that again. And then voila, look, so cute. I love this little window die. I use it a lot.
It's so cute. It's really fun if you do the snowflakes like out of a pearlescent vellum or glitter paper too. Looks so pretty.
And be better than me. Put your cards on card bases. But none of mine are on card bases. So
I got it.
Good job, Kelly. Yay. Woo. Thank you.
That's really Rebecca. Rebecca made me card bases.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, wait, listen. She gets cards on card bases. I don't.
Yeah, so I love the glue tip problems. I have my glue stored in my thing like this. It's because I flew with my glue when I traveled and taught in person, and the glue tubes just don't like to be on planes.
Yeah, very true. They need to just reacclimate to life back on land.
Which this glue tube is almost gone too, so I just need to like let it go and treat myself to a new glue tube. Right. Yeah, and stop fighting with it.
We do that all the time here. We're like, okay, we should just just get it.
Just let it go.
Oh, it's 35 in Denver right now. No, there's a reason I live in Southern California. Absolutely not.
Yeah, the fact that it's snowing in Albuquerque.
Snowing in Colorado. No, thank you. We've been so spoiled here in New England this fall. It has been beautiful. I mean, we literally just had 70-degree weather this week, and it's the beginning of November.
I was in New York 2 weeks ago, and it was warmer in New York than it was in California.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I think it was Halloween week. I went to Douse's, which is our beach, and there were literally people sitting on the beach in their bathing suits in chairs. And honestly, if I could have done it, I would have done the same thing.
That's wild.
Oh,
okay. I'm adding icicles.
Heather says, does the gem picker upper have an official name? I want to put one on my Christmas list. Does lawnfawn have one in the online store, Kelly?
We have multiple, because I think we have the jewel picker.
We have one.
Can you look and see?
I'm looking.
I personally love the jewel picker. I'll grab mine.
I'll just share. This is one that has a wax tip and a pokey tool. Yeah. And then I like the one that Kelly's about to share. Is that one from Marvy, I think, right?
Yeah, it's Marvy. It's old school. And the sound that it makes when you take the cap off is worth the purchase alone. I don't know what it is. I love it. But I like it because it's got this kind of like, it's not wax, but it's like a plasticky sticky, and it's got a big one and a little one. And once again, the sound, I mean.
Yeah,
I love it. Funny the things that we like. You know?
I know, and the tops are like very My Little Pony castle glitter.
Oh
you know?
Like Lisa.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I like it, but those wax tip ones are really great too, and a lot of the wax tip ones have the pokey tool on the other end. I just think we may not have any in stock right now.
Which one?
The wax type tip one, we don't have one in stock right now. But we'll take a look for one of those, or we have the jewel picker. Yeah.
So as we are wrapping up, I just know that some people come late in the thing, so we'll see if we missed any questions. But I also just want to remind you guys, if you haven't signed up yet, me, Shari, and Kelly are going to be teaching an exclusive class on January 9th If you can't make it that day, you can take the class whenever you would like. It's $15. All of the $15 is being donated to help the effort of rebuilding Western North Carolina and getting people back up and running there. And if you guys don't know, Shari is from that area. This is actually a picture of me, Kelly Marie, and Shari pre-pandemic when we were visiting, and we had so much fun. We need to go back. And so lawnfawn's already donated a bunch of the money that you guys have already registered. Thank you so, so much. And so if you haven't registered yet, please think of registering. If you have registered, we would absolutely love it if you spread the word with your crafty friends. Let them know about this really fun class. And then I also just want to mention, if you are creating along with us today and you have the cheesy Christmas stamp set, or maybe now you've been Janabled and you're going to order it, I also have an online class called Tis the Cheese On. I am doing it live tomorrow. So you can join me tomorrow, or you can take the class whenever you would like. We're doing a totally different color scheme than we did tonight. So you'll get different coloring guides. We'll be making 3 more cards, plus you'll get 2 ideas for bonus cards. And then I just threw up there, last year I taught Tweets the Season. So if you didn't get a chance to take that class with me last year, then you can still take that. That's how it is. Like, I have a lot of different online lawn fawn classes. And so if you haven't taken any, you can take them all now. They're available. And so, yeah. And if you are creating along with us tonight, please, please, please post what you made. We love to see what you created. Even if you went rogue, you do not need to apologize for that. We just want to know that you had fun creating. Tag lawnfawn. You could tag me, Jen Shirkus, and you can use the hashtag LFCreateWithUs. We absolutely love to see what you are creating with. So, all right. Do we miss any questions?
I know. And I also wanted to thank you guys so much who have registered for the hurricane relief class. We appreciate it so much. And we are continually donating to the cause, so that as more people register, we'll just keep donating those dollars, and 100% is going. So we really appreciate you being a part of that. And it's going to be nice to be able to get crafty together in January.
Yeah, I can't wait. And it's going to be fun. This is actually the first time that all 3 of us have taught a class together.
True.
I was going to say, like, Kelly and I have taught together, and Shari and I have taught together, but all 3 of us. Oh, wait. Did we do the Tina class together?
I thought so.
We did, except for I think I just joined in. I don't think I was able to. I don't think I really taught. I think I was just
okay. You. I was like, thinking for a minute. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I telling stories?
Yeah. And then here's a really good question: when will we know what to order for the fundraiser class?
That's a good question. We will. You guys should know for release day for the December release. That's the plan. We will, because it is going to be with that. Some of it's going to be with that release, and some of it's previously released. So we will have the handout available for those of you that have registered. And I will say, if you've taken online classes with me before, all of the class details, you'll be able to access it just like you access all of my online class info. So it'll be on my website, shirkus.com, and you'll log into your account and you'll be able to get to the resource page. And if you've never taken a class with me before, it's super simple and easy to do, and we will send you directions. Don't even worry about it.
And we'll send the supply list. So that'll be by December 12th, which is the Valentine release date. Yeah, on December 12th, we'll have that information for you. It's an older favorite set and a brand new set. Even if you don't have the sets, still just come. We'll just be like this. We'll be learning techniques and tips. We're just excited to be able to craft with you guys and to be able to donate to such a wonderful cause. And the class will be like a private YouTube. So
Yes.
that's how we'll do the class.
Yep.
So that'll be great. So you don't need to, I don't believe you have to have an account or anything. You can just watch if you have
No,
the
the
link.
only, if you want to be able to chat, you just have to be able to log into a free Google account. But
Yeah.
you don't need to have a Facebook page or anything like that to be able to
And even if you
participate.
choose not to have an account, you should be able to just watch it even,
For sure.
and then just have a comment. So I like that you'll be able to do that. And it looks like people will be stalking your page on release day, so that's great.
Perfect.
I'm not going to reveal the new critter yet until December 4th, I believe, is when our inspiration week
December
starts.
4th.
It's so fun to have surprises, isn't it? So it's something lovely to look forward to. But it was guessed in the comments multiple times, so that's my hint for the new critter, and I hope you guys are going to love them, and we're excited for that to come. Also, we will have Black Friday and Giving Tuesday coming up as well. So there are a lot of things coming up that we're really excited about. So make sure to just keep an eye, either sign up for our newsletter, keep an eye on our Instagram, Facebook, etc., our blog, whatever your favorite way is to get lawnfawn info. Keep up with Jen because she's always got all the info too, and all of her classes as well. And I'm hoping some of you guys are going to be crafting with her tomorrow too.
I know, I'm so excited. I get to continue on the fun and create all day tomorrow with everybody. So I'm super excited. I saw somebody just said, "Oh no, I missed it." If you're just hopping on, don't worry. You can watch the replay. And we absolutely love that you guys all joined us tonight. Thank you so much. Release day will also announce when our next Create With Us is. It'll be in January. We want to let everybody get through the holidays and the new year. So it'll be in January, but we will announce that, and you'll have another handout for another Create With Us mini class. And hopefully you guys will all join us for that as well.
Yeah, we're excited about it. And and once again, make sure to share your cards, tag us, show us all your pretty cards. I added some stickles onto mine, so mine's glittery now. And we can't wait to see everything that you've made. We can't wait to craft with you during the fundraiser class and also the next Create With Us in January too. So we really look forward to that. And we really appreciate you guys being here with us tonight too.
Yay. Thank you so much, you guys. Anything else, Miss Kelly?
I think that's it. Just like I said, keep an eye out on all of our social medias because there's a lot coming up. Like we said, we've got Black Friday, Giving Tuesday, where we also give 100% of the profits of grab bag boxes. And then we'll have our Inspiration Week starting December 4th, Valentine's December 12th. I know, so many things. So it's going to be a blast. And we're excited to keep you company all throughout these next 2 holiday months. So we're looking forward to it.
Thank you, guys. Have a fabulous night.